I think one of the most beautiful experiences one can have is the realization that everything is this nameless, undescribable, divine oneness. I like to call it God, because that's what it is. I like to call it God, or that's what is meant when people talk about Brahman. You know, when this unmanifested nothingness called Brahman or God is identified with its own creation, what happens is that a human body starts to act as if it's a person, an individual. That's an illusion. This person starts to believe that everything that is inside of this body is me, and this is my limit, and everything else is other than me. Because yes, I need my heart to live, I need my organs, I need my lungs, but everything else is not really under my control, therefore it's not that important. So cannot be me because I am not in control of it. But you're not in control of your own heart. You're not in control of your organism. If it works, how it works. You don't decide when this body gets sick. And all these things that are happening outside of you, like water, air, food, they must be a part of you, just like your inner organism, because you need your inner organism, just like the outer organism, to sustain this body. So who's in control now? Everything is like an interdependent web, an self-sustaining ecosystem. The only thing that feels like individuality is this chatter in the mind, but you have no control over this chatter, what it thinks and what it wants. You can only watch it. So if you don't have the free will to stop your negative thoughts right now, that's evidence that you are not the thinker, that you are actually not in control. So now you know that you're not in control of this body. You're not in control of your thoughts. There's no difference between inner world and outer world, because whatever this is completely dependent on everything. So what's the point? It's freedom. There is a consciousness that is aware of all these things. And it's not personal. It's not a personal consciousness that has an opinion about you or someone else. You know, I like pizza, I like fajita, but I don't like coriander, I don't like zucchini. A different character might have a completely different opinion. But this consciousness that I am has absolutely no opinion about these things, and it has no opinion of this character having an opinion. So, and this non-judgmental consciousness is the same consciousness that is at the root of you, of who you are. Now you just have to understand that this consciousness is actually not the root of who you are, and this body is emerging out of it as if it's something separate. It's the same thing. It's this unified field that is underneath all matter. It's not underneath all matter, it is the matter. Therefore, it's not matter, it is the unified field. Everything is the unified field. appearing as different things. That's what we call Maya, the illusion of separation. So everything that happens is spontaneous creativity that's emerging from the infinite mind of God. And everything is one big ecosystem, and it's not just a limited one, it's a limitless one. And it's dancing. And in this ecosystem, there is not a single individual. It just appears like that. But there's not a single individual in it. Now, I can say I'm a person in a room recording a video, but awakening is when you realize that this wall here, and everything is the same thing or not thing appearing as that. Everything is the one appearing right now. God appearing as a room. God appearing as a person in a room. God appearing as you watching a video. Every thought, every emotion, every sensation is expression of God. And to not be identified with it means freedom. So God wants to create. It's in his nature to create. Just like it's in the nature of a dog to bark. But if he or it or the nothingness, there's no way to describe what it actually is. But let's call it an it. If it is identified with its own creation and starts to actually believe that I am this person, then this consciousness that is aware of the person is lost. It's still there, but that's how the unconscious can manifest. So you're not conscious of patterns that the person is doing, some things that are happening. You're unconscious of them because you think you are them. So you're protecting your unconscious patterns. But when you become the pure consciousness, what happens is that you become conscious of some emotions that just they seem to appear in the moment you become conscious. You're like, that feels like pain, like that feels like, where does that come from? It's like, then you want to watch a video on how to suppress emotions. So that's the unconsciousness that becomes conscious when you are becoming the light of awareness. And all of a sudden the body becomes more comfortable, like becomes relaxed more and more. And but don't cling to this relaxation because it's still happening in the realm of creation. It's just identify as what you are, which is this consciousness, or let's call it the unmanifest, the eye of God, whatever you want. And that means freedom, because you don't care about what happens to this body, if it's a little bit depressed today, if it's happy, but it could be better, it's not like you don't have those worries anymore. You're just observing, like you're constantly unbound peace, watching your own creation. But it's the same thing. Like when you're deeply into meditation, there's like limitless love, God, Brahman, whatever you want to call it. And when you stop meditating, it feels like the person is logging in again. But that's really not the case. It's just the dream appearing again. And the person is part of the dream. It's part of the dream. So you're not the person. You're the dreamer. The dreamer is the consciousness. But when the consciousness wakes up, it's not like a person waking up in his bed. I don't think it will be like that. Maybe I don't think it will be like that. But it's just this: the dreamer is awake and asleep at the same time, because when he is, or it is, aware of his own dream or its own dream, he's lucid. It's like a lucid dream. Like, I'm fully aware of sensations, this character here, this person, the wall. At the same time, I know it's a mind appearing as a real world. And that's like Brahman looking at itself. It's lucid. But there's not a person waking up in the higher realm. Like, I'm awake now. I was God. That's not how it is. And I cannot decide if you wake up, because you cannot wake up. You will not wake up. There's like this awareness that was always here. It's becoming aware that, wait a minute, I'm not a person, I'm aware of a person. So this awareness is not in my head, it's everywhere. It's unbound. That's not a belief. That's really when that happened to me. It happened a few times. Then it was covered up by personhood again. But I had like small moments where I saw that everything is that. Everything is that. It's so clear. I don't have to meditate anymore. I don't have to practice anything spiritual anymore. It's clear. It's clear. But then it was covered up by personhood again. I was like, it's hard to be in this state, to stay in this state, but it's actually not. It is seen. You're not watching a video, you're watching Brahman appearing as a video. And you shouldn't believe me, you should experience it for yourself. Just see for yourself. And don't ask, but how? Observe this question, how? Observe it. Like, you're observing the thought, and the thought is also Brahman's creation. But again, don't identify with your own creation. Do not identify with your own creation, because that's how to suffer. How to suffer. You just have to identify with something. I have my body, I have my car, I have my house. You don't even have your body. This body will die. So, who's left when this body's gone? No one. Like, you are this no one, unmanifest consciousness. So you never existed. You're not a person in a brain that is, I'm using my free will to walk now. Everything is one interdependent, self-sustaining ecosystem that is constantly dancing, and there's no individual in this dance. This is just one dance appearing as separate things, but there's no dancer anywhere. There's no dancer, it's just dance. So I'm not a person recording a video, I'm a dance, dancing a dance. Without a dancer. Yeah, that's it. That's it for today. If you have a question, leave a comment, give this video a like, subscribe, and have a great day.